did you seek approval? Who did you get approval from to go forward with this event at the Stanley?
There has been a lack of guidance throughout this process. We did receive last week some information from the county that there wasn't going to be a problem with this. It came from the county attorney's office. In addition, the Stanley Theater, is my understanding, provided notification to the county regarding the Walk Across the Stage event. And we're all trying to work through this. We're dealing with a pandemic and trying to work together. And unfortunately, what was supposed to be a very nice event has turned into a problem. And it's unfortunate because in other counties, and there's mixed messages across the state, in other counties, there are guidelines that have been provided for ceremonies very similar to what we did. And the governor even commended school districts in the western part of New York about being creative and doing things like this. So there's just inconsistent guidance, and we will work with the county to try and resolve this matter. But I know local schools have planned similar events. A local school has the very same type of graduation, and they're allowing 10 people to walk across the stage or come into that ceremony. So we're all trying to work together on this. We're dealing with a pandemic, and nobody's been through this before. And it's just unfortunate that the students of our school district have had to be put through this when, as you indicated, it's a very nice event. There were a lot of positive comments regarding this event.
So Bob, you're right. You're right. Guidance is needed to be provided by the state.
Yeah.
And again, New York State is lacking here. But you said you got approval, or that you were not in violation from the county attorney's office.
Yeah, I got to jump in here. Let me just stop that right now. The county attorney's office, first of all, there's only one. The county attorney is Peter Rahill, and that there's no guidance that came out of there. If you're referring to one of the assistant county attorneys who happens to be on the New Hartford School Board, she did not have the ability or the authority to give approval on that. So let's stop that one right there. There was no. If she gave okay, then we got a problem. Then I got a problem on my end, and I'll deal with that today. But there should have been no. That's not me. It's not the public health director. And Bob's right. I will give him that. There's no guidance, and everybody's trying to deal with it. Doesn't make what the other districts are doing right, and it doesn't make it right that the Stanley was open. They were wrong. It doesn't make it right. So let's not split hairs here in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. I agree. The kids are going through. You know what happened yesterday? 6 more people died. That's what I have to deal with every day, and that's the reality. I know the pandemic better than anybody in this county. I've been dealing with it since March 13th. So I understand that the kids need to graduate. I also understand that I have a responsibility here. Right. I also understand that people need to understand, again, go ahead, the governor's commending people, talking out of both sides of his mouth the way he does, and I'm left to deal with it. So
Bob,
let's just be straight on what we're doing.
Is there ever any disrespect lodged towards the county regarding this? Respectfully, schools are closed, but we are an essential function. We've consistently been open throughout the closure to provide essential services such as lunch programs, child care. We've opened up to provide personal materials that students left behind in March. We have provided learning tools for students. We have teachers in the building for instructional planning. So we are an essential organization that's deemed appropriate to be open for those functions. There is inconsistent guidance out there. There are people across the state doing things similar to what we're doing. We are going to work with the county. We are going to attempt everything to try and honor these graduates and work with the county to provide that opportunity for the remaining students who did not receive the opportunity to walk across the stage. In talking to the county executive, we firmly believe that something will open up in the next couple of weeks that allow us to conclude that and honor the students, and that's what this is about, honoring and saluting the students. And Bill, I'd like to thank you personally for your efforts in terms of putting this production together for us, and that's where our focus should be. Our focus should not be on what everybody is dealing with, a lot of challenges through the pandemic, and we should all be working together.
Thank you, Bob. And Tony, I guess I wanted to end with how do we find a way to get this done? How do we move forward and find a way to, not just for New Hartford, but for all school districts in the area?
Yeah, I mean, look, and I'm I talked about that. I've been trying to figure it a way, but again, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one who, I'm trying to follow the guidelines that are there, and the ones that aren't there, I'm trying not to subvert or go around. With the exception of what happened last week over like a 4-hour period because the governor reversed very quickly. But at the end of the day, I said this again on the state call yesterday. State education's got to give guidance. Either they're going to allow something or they're not. And that's not my call. What is my call is venues can't be open, and I'm supposed to enforce that. Schools are not supposed to be open, and somebody's supposed to enforce that. I understand what Bob said about kids going back and forth, but the bottom line is the issue of closing things is not about the people that go there in terms of the students. It's the students that can go to the schools. It's not parents. It's not grandparents. It's not aunts and uncles. We're trying to stop that right now until we get better guidance. And so I do think that something will come on graduations. I just did ask them very, very nicely. I said, look, let's just wait. Why the rush? What's the drop dead date? Schools are closed. Nothing else is going on. You don't have to plan. Wait a minute. You don't have to plan. You can start planning the virtual stuff. You could start planning these things with the interest of doing them when you get a green light. But why did you have to rush out and do it right away?
Well, if I can just interject, it's because I have to edit this. It takes time to edit this and put it together. That's the reason.
But my point to that, Bill, was maybe by the end of the month or even before then, you get guidance on doing it a lot easier than doing the editing or doing this type of ceremony. Maybe there's going to be the issue of using the football field or how graduations have been held in the past.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I mean, I think we're all trying to, look, I get it. I do get it. I think the kids should have something. I think a lot of people should have something. I think a lot of businesses that are closed should be open. But those are not all my calls, and then they get left on my lap, or at least in my blame. And, I don't think it's fair. And I think what's happening here is, we're trying to go around what we don't know by saying, well, other places are doing it. Well, you know what? That doesn't make it right either. I mean, and the bottom line is we're supposed to be concerned about our kids and our parents and our grandparents and everybody else, and we got to find the right way to do it. And I think we can.
All right, Tony, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Bob Nole, thank you for calling in. I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, and Bill, may I just add that it's just ironic that yesterday we opened up a restaurant seat outside and that students can now celebrate their graduation by going to a restaurant with their families, but they couldn't receive the diploma with those same family members present. So this whole thing, again, I think we're all trying to work collaboratively through it, and we will. And it's just the pandemic has created a lot of challenges for a lot of people.
There's no doubt about that. Bob, thank you so much, and Tony as well. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.